How you guys doing? This is Captain Spencer Clark with Breaking Bass Guide Service down here at Table Rock Lake. Just wanted to give you guys a fishing report. We've almost made it through the month of August. The fishing just keeps getting better for me down here at Table Rock Lake. We're starting to get some cooler nights, getting a little bit of fog on the lake. You know that fall's just around the corner. The past weekend had a bunch of guide trips. Caught a bunch of really nice walleye and a bunch of really big spotted bass. Really been tuning into that bite mostly on my guide trips out here on Table Rock Lake. We're able to just keep the action going and catching fish the entire trip, which is what most people like. If somebody wants to come down, target some bigger largemouth or maybe like a big smallmouth, we can also do that too. It's just you have to hunt around and peck a little bit more. Because it's a little bit slower bite than getting on those real deep schools of fish that I've been on lately. So heading down to Table Rock Lake, think about that. Get out and do some fishing. Love to have you out on the lake. I've got a little bit of availability this weekend. Saturday morning, I've got a trip planned. I've got Saturday afternoon and all day Sunday still available. Those afternoon trips can be really, really good. Caught a bunch of good fish this past weekend down here at Table Rock on my afternoon trips. Really like that Sunday afternoon time slot. You get a lot of people kind of going home from the weekend down here, and the lake kind of quiets down a little bit, and the fish really start to bite. Had a really good trip this past Sunday. Fishing was excellent. So I've got a little bit of availability this weekend. I was just going to talk a little bit about what I'm catching fish on. Been catching a lot of fish still on that drop shot. It's hard to beat, when we're on our guide trips just because people, they catch, 15 to 20 bass a trip. And, everybody gets a turn at catching a fish when we're out here on these deep schools. Primarily been using just nothing but spinning tackle when we're doing this drop shot fishing down here on Table Rock Lake. Basically what I'm doing is just tying your standard Palomar knot here to like a 1/0 hook. After you tie that Palomar knot, you just want to pass that tag in back through the line eye like that. What that's going to do is just kind of help that hook on your line sit upright to where that hook point's always up. I'd say like 95% of the fish that we've been hooking on this drop shot rig got that hook point right in the top of their mouth, which makes it really hard for those fish to throw that hook. Just a little tip, most people that drop shot a lot know about that, putting that tag line back through the hook like that to just kind of give that hook the ability to stand up a little bit more like that on your line, keeping it straight out, and doing a pretty good size leader on here, probably about a 2-foot leader, just because we've been fishing this around a lot of deep brush piles and a lot of just standing timber down there. A little bit longer leader like this kind of helps it out a lot. And really a lot of the bass that I've been seeing on my graph, they haven't been exactly on the bottom. They've been actually suspended 4 or 5 feet up off the bottom in some of the areas that we're really catching them. So having a little bit longer tag line here on your drop shot seems to be helping a lot. A couple different baits that you can think about throwing. Table Rock's got a ton of glass minnows in it, so really been focusing on trying to mimic those glass minnows. These little tiny flukes that Zoom makes, been doing really good. Drop shotting these the past week, along with just a Kai-Tak swim bait. This is just like a smoke with purple flake in it. These 3 baits here have been working really good at catching some big spotted bass. Had a couple smallmouth too over the past weekend, drop shotting these, and the walleye like them too. So been doing a lot of different baits on this drop shot. Another thing that you might want to check out is just throwing like a 6-inch to a 4-inch rubble worm. Morning Dawn is just a great color. That's also been working really, really good. The whole key to drop shotting right now for me has been using nothing but like 6-pound fluorocarbon. Been spooling all my reels up for my trips with just 6-pound Cast King covert fluorocarbon line. This stuff is really, really strong. A lot of times, if my customers that get hung up on the brush, they have a really hard time actually breaking the line when they're trying to break it off. And this line has been working really good. Been pulling a lot of good fish up out of brush piles with 0 problems. Used to do a lot of like 8 to 10 pound tests, but actually been dropping down to 6. And I think what we're going to try to do this next week is maybe try some 4-pound line and see if you get a few more bites doing that. But I know dropping down to 6 has been making it so we can get a lot more bites and catch a lot more fish lately on our trips. For my drop shotting down here, one setup that I really like is just this Peregrine 2 series rod from Cast King, and just a medium power. This is a 6'8" spinning rod, and I'm just pairing it up with a Zephyr Cast King reel. This is a 2000 series. This combination is super light and just really balanced really well. It makes, you know, drop shotting all day long just a breeze. Real easy to hold this rod and drop shot with it all day. And we've been dropping this, like I said, in on offshore structure anywhere from, you know, say like 20 all the way out to like 35 foot. You know, a lot of people, when it comes to drop shotting, they might think that you have to be deeper than say like 20 foot to get bit. But we've had a lot of fish, even like the last couple weeks, we've been catching right under the boat. I've been seeing them, you know, on my electronics right under the boat, and we've just been dropping to them even in like 20 foot or less and still catching those fish. Just a really good technique, catch a bunch of fish and have a lot of fun down here at Table Rock Lake. And fishing's been really good. Still a lot of fish out there in that deep water. There's also a topwater bite going on in the morning. You get up there on the bank, throw a crankbait, throw a topwater, just cover a lot of water. You're going to start running into a little bit bigger fish like your largemouth and smallmouth. Just going to have to cover a lot of water though in order to put, you know, a lot of good fish in the boat, because they're a little bit more scattered out right now. Just got to put that trolling motor down and just really get after it if you want to catch those fish. So that's another thing that's going on right now. You catch some good fish doing. Anyways, guys, I've got some availability this weekend. Love to get you out on the water. That's your report for Table Rock Lake. Taneycomo, been over there doing a couple trips as well the past week. Been doing really good fishing the area down by the landing. Just a bunch of fish are down there right now. Had a couple trips where we were catching like over 50 trout, just a 4-hour trip. And just, you know, some good ones showing up too, along with like the stocker trout. But having a lot of success down there, really getting after it and catching a lot of those fish down there. You get a lot more pressure from when you go to like Lilies up to like even Fall Creek. Those areas are getting fished really hard. A little bit harder to catch fish up there. Still catch them, but you're just not going to have the nonstop action like you will if you get down towards the landing, down the Rockaway Beach. Kind of going away from the crowds and getting into some areas that, you know, maybe not as many people are fishing as hard. Like I said, guys, got some availability this weekend. Love to get you out, whether you want to chase bass or do some trout fishing. You might want to get out in Table Rock and do some walleye fishing. We're catching a lot of really good walleye right now. Love to go try to catch those fish, and they're some of the best eating fish you've ever had. I get a lot of people on my guide trips from Louisiana and Texas, and you know, catching a walleye is something for a lot of them. It's like a first. You know, there's plenty of crappie down there, catch plenty of crappie, but a lot of people, you know, from the south, they just haven't caught a walleye yet. So get them out on a guide trip out here on Table Rock Lake. When they get that, you know, 30-inch walleye, you know, that's a unique and new experience for them. And what's even better is when they get to taste it, you know, how good a fried walleye tastes. Some of the best eating fish, you know, it's called a Table Rock lobster. Some of the best eating fish you can have. You know, I've eaten a lot of fish over my lifetime, but I would rank that walleye as like the #1 eating fish, fresh or saltwater, that you could possibly catch if you're getting ready to have a fish fry. So anyways, guys, that's your fishing report for Table Rock Lake. If you'd like to get out, do some fishing, especially this weekend, hit me up, 314-562-3332. Like to get you out on the water, catch some fish. Until next time, guys, good fishing. We'll see you later.